live. Let me just start here, check the stream quickly. Yeah, looks like everything started. Okay, so hello. We are going to continue working today on writing the tests for the TweetTextarea React component that I am creating for my web app, the thread splitter web app that I'm creating, which is called Threader. If you'd like to check the app, it's available here in threader.thewizardapprentice.com. If you go here, you can play around with it. Basically, what we're doing is we are replacing this part of the app where you actually type the thread that will the text basically that will be split into a thread of tweets, and which can be published to your account if you want to connect the app to the account. The reason why we're doing that is basically at the moment this is just a normal HTML text area, so whenever you actually type like a hashtag or like a user mention or something, it doesn't get highlighted like it does on Twitter. So what we're trying to do basically is we're trying to do the same thing as you can see here. Basically in the tweet display, it's actually the hashtag is highlighted. We want it to be highlighted here as well, and to do that we have to replace that text area with something else that actually achieves this result. So that's what we're creating basically. The way we started doing it is we actually started identifying basically how the Twitter input area actually works, and that basically behavior is actually all of these behaviors are identified in a document that is published on the repository for the this project basically. So what I'll do now is I'll share the repository in the chat in case anyone wants to actually take a look at it. So we'll go here and tweet. Yeah, TweetTextarea, that's what's called. So this is the repository. If anyone is interested in checking it, this is the actual document that I am talking about. This basically highlights all of the behaviors that I've managed to identify in Twitter's input area, and that I'll be trying to replicate. So the first thing we started doing actually is, because we have very well defined behavior, what we started to do is we actually started writing tests to basically see how like we started actually writing tests for the component before we write the component itself. So we would all of these tests would be failing at the moment, but because we really know what we want to do, we want to have the tests that tell us that, okay, once we start writing the component, okay, are we going in the right, are we heading in the right direction, or are we not? Because if we're not heading in the right direction, then all of these tests will fail, or at least some of them will fail, and then we would know that, okay, there's a problem with the way we're implementing our component, and we need to change that. So yesterday we've written the tests that actually check some of the general behavior for the input area, and as well as the tests that check the formatting for the hashtags and user mentions. So the goal is to hopefully finish all of the remaining writing tests for all of the remaining behaviors, but unfortunately I have a very limited time today, so I might not be able to get all of them done, because we still have to write tests for the URLs and the cache tags, which is basically something that Twitter includes for people who want to share like financial information and things like that. It's not as popular, at least for me it wasn't that popular compared to like hashtags and user mentions, but it is there, and the way you actually use it is you have to put a $sign, and then you need to type a series of characters, and yeah, we'll again, we've identified how it works, and we're going to actually be converting that into tests right now. So yeah, let's just get started, and let me check what we want to do. So okay, so yeah, this one actually starts explaining basically how cache tags work, which, as I said, basically it's a $sign followed by a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 6 alphabetical characters, and it has to be alphabetical characters. It can't be digits, it cannot be non-word characters. It has to be basically characters between A to Z, whether lowercase or uppercase. However, a suffix is allowed that uses an underscore. So if you add an underscore and you follow it by maximum of 2 alphabetical characters as well, then that will be considered as part of the hashtag, as the part of the cache tag. Sorry. So if we go here to Twitter and we type Google, for instance, as you can see, up to 6 characters is allowed. If we add one more character, it doesn't get highlighted. If we add like a number, it doesn't get highlighted. If we add a non-word character at the beginning, it doesn't get highlighted. If we add one at the end, it will highlight all the word characters and then ignore that one. Same thing with an underscore. An underscore will be treated as non-word character until you actually add another character. So as you can see, now that we've added F, all of that is highlighted as part of the cache tag. If we add another alphabetical character, it gets highlighted as well. However, if we add a third one, that doesn't get highlighted, but the beginning bit is still highlighted. So yeah, as I said, like, this suffix will be highlighted only if it has a maximum of 2 characters. So this is basically how the cache tag works, and now we need to convert that into a series of tests that actually work for the cache tags. So let me find the behavior. So okay, here we go again. This basically explains the way the cache tags work. So let me check quickly if I can use one of the files that we've built yesterday, and okay, I think we can duplicate that file and use it as a starting point. Okay, let me just zoom in a little bit now so you can actually see everything on the stream, and let me just make sure that it's visible enough. Okay, maybe I need to zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, I think that looks much better. Yep. Yeah, okay, so we're here. I think we can rely on that file, so let me duplicate it quickly. CP source tests index hashtag source tests index hashtag, and then let's just replace this like that, so it's cache tag instead, and then we can go here. Yep. So first thing, as you can see, we're using the Microsoft Playwright testing library. If you are not familiar with it, you can check it here. I think it's playwright.dev. And the main reason why we're using this library is because it supports testing WebKit, so we can test the macOS Safari browser. So yeah, that is the main reason we're relying on it for testing, because I want this component to work well on Safari, as well as it does, as well as it would on Chrome and Firefox. So let's start here replacing this. So cache tags. So the first suite of tests basically checks that nothing is formatted if we don't have anything that matches the pattern. So here we just check if if the user basically just types the $sign, it shouldn't be formatted because it still doesn't match it still doesn't match the pattern that we will define for the cache tags. So let's see if we have highlighted. No, this is for the URLs. Here are basically Okay, then here we test if they type some word characters that doesn't match the hashtag pattern, which in this case, if we type something that is longer than the alphabetical characters, or if they type something that includes if it's longer than 6 characters basically, or if it includes numbers, none of that should work. So we can do this because numbers are not supported, so we should have this as well. Let's also add this. So the way we're testing basically is first, the way we're going to format these words basically is we're going to wrap them in a span element that has a specific class that applies formatting to it. So the way we're testing here that these are not formatted is by one, checking that that span element is not actually there, and then we're also checking the actual HTML of our component to make sure that it doesn't it basically looks in a specific way that we expect it to be basically. So yeah, this is checks for word characters. If the user types non-word characters immediately after the $, it shouldn't be highlighted. So if we have something like this, so if we have Google, which without the dash here it would be highlighted, but because we have the dash it won't be highlighted. So FE, and then so again that is not going to be highlighted as we expect. Let's also add something here that tests a mix of numbers and letters. So yeah, we are covering that. Okay, and then okay, this tests basically what happens when the if the user actually erases something from a string that matches the hashtag pattern, and then making it no longer matching. So let's say we have sorry, and 1 2 3 4 5 6. So if we have here 6 backspaces, then we'll be left with only the $sign, so it shouldn't be highlighted. User ads. Okay, this tests something else. Let me see how this behavior works, because with hashtags, for instance, if the user adds any word characters before the hashtag, the highlighting will be removed. So I think this is the same. Let me just check if I erase if to valid if cache tag. No. Yeah, okay, so looks like it works in the same way. So if we have this and then we add hi, yeah, it removes the highlighting immediately before highlighted cache tag, no non-word separating, then the highlighting should be removed, correct. So if we have this and we do that, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so we need to go back 7 times, and then yeah, that's fine. The highlighting should be removed. Okay, that's great. So I think we've covered this one. Okay, so we can remove this bit. Okay, let me go back up a little bit. All of this has to do with URLs. Okay, so yeah, let's go here. Let me just check that. Yeah, no match for cache tag pattern, and then this checks if the matches. So let's do this. Matches the cache tag. It should be highlighted. Just give me 1 second. I am getting an important message. I need to okay, sorry about that. So yeah, we're testing basically now. Okay, if we just add normal word characters that make it match the cache tag, so if we have this, then it should be visible, and it should basically oh damn it. Too much CT. Yeah, here we go. And okay, so we have this. As we said, if we add a non-word character somewhere here, so let's do this. No, oh, damn it. If we do this, then the part of the cache tag itself will be highlighted, but the highlighting will stop basically before the non-word character. So this bit here will be highlighted, but this bit here will not. So as you can see, we have that reflected here in the HTML. As basically the $sign with the word Google inside of it is wrapped in the span element, but the hyphen and 2022 is not. We need to add another test here that actually tests for the suffix basically. So we'll do this test a suffix made of an underscore and a maximum of 2 alphabetical characters is allowed and should be highlighted. So we'll do this and page and const editor page.locator div, and then we're going to await editor.type and hello Google US, for instance, or UK, just because I'm in the UK. So so let's just make sure that this actually is correct. Yep. So here's what we're going to do now. Yeah, all we need to do is get the HTML. Actually, we need to get the span first. Page.locator span.highlight. This is not how you type highlight. And then const HTML await editor.html. This is a method that returns a promise, and then we will do expect span to be visible and await expect HTML to be a paragraph with hello, and then span class equal highlight, and close the span. What did I do? Okay. And then so all of that should be highlighted, and then we need to test if the suffix doesn't match the rules that are defined. As we said, it has to be a maximum of 2 alphabetical characters. So if it doesn't match that, then the suffix itself shouldn't be highlighted, but the cashtag part will be highlighted. Test if the suffix doesn't if the suffix doesn't, need to move this a little bit like that, yeah, doesn't match the rules, then only the cashtag part will be highlighted. Same function page, and we'll get the editor quickly. Page.locator, and await editor dot type, and we'll type something where the as you can see, this has 3 alphabetical characters rather than 2, and as you know, if we do that here, then it won't match. Then const html, actually const span equal page.locator, span.highlight, and then const html equal await editor.inner html. Let's remove that, and await expect span to be hidden, and then await expect HTML to be so here's what I'm going to do. Instead of this, we'll put this here, and it will be ink. Okay, so now we've tested for the suffix. Okay, this means we've covered this behavior and this behavior. Okay. Okay, we need to also add something here. Test the user types and underscore immediately after the dollar character. It should not be highlighted. And again, we're going to copy this because it's almost the same. And let's just delete this one because, as we said, it has to be a maximum of 6 characters. So just to highlight the point that although this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters, but because it starts with an underscore, then it's not going to be highlighted. So yeah, what? Okay, and this means that we've covered we've covered all of this, so we can just correcting some mistakes. Hashtag. Yeah, we have covered. Did we cover this one? I think we did. I just need to get the. Oh, damn it! Closed it again. Keep closing it. If anything from around, highlight making the remaining text invalid. Okay, that's fine. We have covered this. So yeah, let's keep going. We've changed all of these. This is the. No, we haven't actually changed these yet. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Now basically we're covering the bit where if we have a string that doesn't match the cache tag and then the user removes something making it match the cache tags, then the cache tag pattern, then it will end up being highlighted as well. So that's what we're doing here. Then it should be highlighted. Okay, so let's say we have something like Google Inc, for instance, because this includes 9 alphabetical characters. It's not going to be highlighted, as we can see here, Google Inc. However, if we remove 1, 2, 3, and then the backspace, yeah, we can remove that one. Then we expect it to be visible. And it will be just the word Google, because we removed the 3 letters that make up the Inc word. So yeah, that covers this test suite. The next suite basically deals with what happens when cache tags come basically in contact with other entities. So what happens when they come in contact with another cache tag. So let's see, this is what happens if the user adds another $sign in front. Let me see what happens in this case. We have highlighted, then we add okay. So if we add another $sign, yeah, the highlighting will be removed. Then the highlighting will be removed. So if we have something like this and we go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we type this to be hidden, and then this will be sorry, and we need to here we go. So hello Google, nothing will be highlighted here in this case. Same is true for basically, as you can see, same is true for like if we add the add character or the hash character before. So if we add, that will be removed. If we add the hash, that will be removed. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down here, cache tags in relations to a user mention. This is not the one. Immediately before a highlighted cache tag, then the highlighting will be removed. So we need to do this, and then Okay, here we go. We have this, and then we can paste this here. But instead of adding a $sign, we'll add an @ character, and we change this as well. Then I think we have no, that's not what we want. And okay, yeah, we need to go down here. Am I missing something? This is the cache tags in relation to user mentions. Let me find the next. Yes, cache tags in relation to hashtags. So if the user types this is immediately before a highlighted cache tag, then the highlighting will be removed as well, so we delete that, and then we find immediately before. Okay, yeah, that is the one. Okay, and here we go. We paste this here, and then change this. Like that. So we've now covered we've covered the first bit of this behavior, so we remove that. So we need to also basically check what happened when we add characters. Like, let's say, like with a cache tag here, we've added a $, character here. So what we need to do is we need to check, like, okay, what happens if we added the $, character, then some word characters. In this case, the highlighting of the original cache tag should be removed. Whether the new cache tag, like if we have, like let's explain it here. So if we have this, for instance, that is highlighted. As we said, if we added this here, it shouldn't be highlighted. However, what happens if we actually start typing something that makes this a viable cache tag? Then, as you can see, the cache tag will be highlighted, but the original one is actually not highlighted anymore. However, if the beginning bit is not a valid cache tag, then it's not going to be highlighted, but that doesn't mean that the second part or the original cache tag will be highlighted. It will still be not highlighted. So no matter what we have before, if we add anything before the cache tag, the original cache tag will always end up being the highlighting of it will be removed. So we need with no characters, then the highlighting will be removed, yes, as we said. So if we do this, then we go back 7 characters, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, yeah, that's correct. And then we type something like this. Then we expect that the formatting, the span that was wrapping this part will no longer exist. Same should be true in the case of the user mention. So let's also do that quickly. I think this is the one we covered. Yep, that's correct. Type the followed by immediately before highlighted cache tag. Then the highlighting will be removed, as we said. So again, we go back 7 characters and we add that, and we expect basically the span that wrapped this bit to be removed. So let's just, again, just to be safe, make sure, yeah, okay, great. And again, same will happen with hashtags. So these are types. No, this is not what we're looking for. This is what we're looking for. Yeah. And highlighting will be removed. That's correct. And let's make this 100 days of code. And again, that means that the span will be hidden. So we've now covered this behavior and this behavior as well. So we need to basically go back over the yes, here. Okay, those are types immediately before highlighted cache tags, cache tag, yeah, then that will be removed. We've updated this. Yeah, we've updated this as well. Those 2 hashtags next to each other, none of them will actually be highlighted. And the user, okay, if we type, let's actually check, because I think, yeah, this one is a bit different. So if the user types the $character after a highlighted cache tag, then the highlighting will be maintained, but the new dollar character will not be highlighted. So if we do something like this and we have, so that bit is a valid cache tag up to the E. So in this case, the dollar character will be treated as just a regular non-word character. So the first bit will be highlighted, but the new dollar character will not. So we'll do that. Let's just add span and then add the dollar character here, and then we will change this like that, because we'll add class highlight, and then we'll do this. So yeah, if we do that, only the first bit will be highlighted. If we have multiple cache tags, one after the other, with no non-word characters, then again this is a bit different from how come on after then. Yeah, only the first, not this, and only the first of them will be highlighted. So we have something like this. Amazon, Google, both of them are valid as cache tags, but only the first one will be highlighted. So actually we will expect this to be visible, and that's because we'll have this, and again let's replace this one. Class equal highlight, and then close the span and have move it in here and have this one in here. So that covers what happens when we have multiple cache tags, one after the other. Then we need to go back to the user mentions. If the user mention types the add character after highlighted cache tag, then the highlighting will be maintained. Yeah, that's correct. It will be treated as any other non-word characters. So if we have this to be visible, and we'll add this here. Yep, that's correct. And if the user types a valid user mention after a highlighted cache tag, then the highlighting will be maintained. Again, that's correct. If we do this, Aim Saeed, like, although I know that this is a valid user mention, it's not going to be highlighted. Only the cache tag in this case will be highlighted. Great. Okay, the user types immediately before. We've covered this one already. Okay, that's good. If the user type followed by other word characters, then the highlighting will be removed. Again, we've covered this. Now back to the cache tag. After a highlight, the hashtag, sorry, and the highlighting will be maintained. Yep, that's correct. Again, okay, we've covered this one. The user types a valid hashtag after a highlighted cache tag, then the highlighting will be maintained. Again, yep, this is a valid hashtag, but it's not going to be highlighted. And we're going to do this, and immediately before I've covered this one. Yeah, and I think we've covered this one as well. Yep. Okay, I think we've covered everything. Let me just zoom out and go over it quickly again to make sure that we have everything in here as it should be. No match, types. Formatted, correct. The user types. Yep, that's all of that is correct. None of these should be highlighted. The user types and underscore immediately after, it shouldn't be highlighted. Okay, and doesn't seem like I typed this correctly, so none of that should be highlighted. That's correct. None immediately after. Okay, yes. When the user erases characters from string, making it no longer matching, the highlighting should be removed, again as we expected. So if we moved it, that will be hidden. Yes, correct. User adds word characters immediately before a highlighted cache tag. Yes, with no non-word, then the highlighting should be removed. Yes, that's correct. We've implemented this as well, so yeah, great. If the user types something after the and the result matches, it should be highlighted. Yep, that's correct. We've implemented that. Suffix made of an underscore and a maximum is allowed and should be highlighted. That's correct. All of that will be actually highlighted. If the suffix doesn't match the rules, then only the cache tag part will be highlighted. So as we've implemented that. As we said, this is because this has 3 alphabetical characters and suffix is only allowed to have 2 alphabetical characters, then this suffix doesn't match the rules, so the suffix itself is not going to be highlighted, so the highlighting will stop at the E character. So yes, that's what we did. If we add non-word character after a sequence of word characters that match the cache tag pattern, the formatting should stop before. So yes, again, as you can see, the starting from the hyphen, nothing will be formatted, but everything before that will be. Erases characters from a string that doesn't match the cache tag by making it match, then it will be highlighted. Yes, so we have Google Inc. here again, because it has 9 alphabetical characters, it's not a valid cache tag. However, if we delete 3 of these characters, then we'll only have 6, which is the maximum allowed, so it should be highlighted. And now back to the relations of cache tags to other entities. So immediately, if we add $2 sign, $2 characters at the beginning, then it shouldn't be highlighted. Yeah, we went back and then added another dollar character that doesn't match the pattern, so it shouldn't be highlighted. If by other word characters, immediately we'll know again. So yeah, as we said, like when we add another cache tag at the beginning, then the original highlighting of the cache tag should be removed. There's the types. If we add the dollar character after, then only this first bit should be highlighted. So as you can see, we have this highlighted, but the extra dollar character at the end is not going to be highlighted. If we have multiple cache tags, then only the first of them will be highlighted. So if you have this and this, so each of these is valid cache tag, and they come one after the other with nothing separating them, no non-word characters separating them, then only the first one will be highlighted. So only the Amazon part will be highlighted, but the Google bit is not going to be highlighted. Cache tags, if we add the @ character after the cache tag, then the @ character will not be highlighted, but the highlighting of the cache tag will be maintained. If we add the user mention, so if we add an actual user mention after the cache tag, then again the user mention itself will not be highlighted, but the highlighting of the cache tag will be maintained. If we add the @ character before, not after, then the highlighting will be removed. And if we add the user mention before, then again the highlighting will be removed. This test doesn't check for if the user mention is going to be highlighted or not, because regardless of the user mention being valid user mention and being highlighted, the highlighting of the cache tag will always be removed. And then with the hashtags, so again, if we add the hashtag, the hash character after the cache tag, then the hash character is not going to be formatted. As you can see, it's out of the formatting span. And if we add a valid hashtag, again the hashtag will not be formatted if it comes after the cache tag. So the cache tag will maintain its formatting, but the hashtag will not be included in the formatting or formatted as a hashtag. If the user types, if we add the hash character before, not after, then the formatting of the cache tag will be removed, as you can see. Again, and if we add a hashtag before, so that's hash character with like the characters that come after, making it a valid hashtag, or even if it doesn't make it a valid hashtag, it will still basically the highlighting of the cache tag itself will be removed. So yeah, everything seems to be fine. If we now go here and do this and G cache tags, and let me actually make sure that it's so it only runs the why is it no? Okay, maybe it needs these. Something. Nope. These. Nope. Oh, sorry, it's probably the other way around. No. Interesting. Okay, I'm trying to just figure out a way to just run this test suite, but it doesn't seem to be willing to run it. Let me see if there's a way I can define the file. Okay, yeah, there is a way. So test browser project equal desktop Chrome, and let's just run source test index. Yeah, and as you can see, all of these tests are failing. Some of them will actually succeed, but if you've watched yesterday's stream, then you'll know that some of these are going to be false positives, just because we haven't actually started implementing the formatting logic yet. So that's why some of them are actually passing, but they shouldn't pass. So yeah, we'll wait until all of these tests complete. Yeah, as you can see, almost all of them failed, except these 4 ones that are false positives, basically. So yeah, we have now completed the cache tag tests. There are some other aspects that do with how the cache tag relates to URLs, but I'll implement that in the URLs test rather than in the cache tag test. So let's remove everything that we've implemented. This is implemented, this is implemented. Yeah, and now basically all we have left is the URLs. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I'll have enough time to implement the tests for the URLs today, because unfortunately I'll have to go very soon. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'll be available for streaming tomorrow as well. I still don't know really, so yeah, I'll just tweet tomorrow if I'll be able to do another stream or not, and yeah, I'll see you soon, and then we'll basically implement the remaining tests, and then since we only have the URLs remaining, I think we might actually be able to start looking into actually building, like start coding the component itself. So hopefully the next stream is not going to be just writing tests, but yeah, we'll see. I hope you can join me for the next stream, and yeah, let me know if you have any thoughts in the comments, and if you have any questions, I'll be more than welcome to try to answer them if I can. See you soon. Thank you.